Now that you know about events, and more specifically custom events, I want to cover the 3 different ways that LWCs can communicate. The first is where a child component is nested within a parent, and there is the need for that child to communicate with the parent. The reverse of that scenario is where the nested child component needs to communicate with its parent. Finally, there is the scenario where 2 unrelated components need to communicate. In this scenario, the 2 unrelated components may be nested within a parent component or a Lightning app, in which case the 2 components can also be thought of as siblings. Now let's look at each of those scenarios a little closer. For the child-to-parent relationship, the key thing to remember is that custom events, which you learned about in the last clip, are kind of like the secret sauce for this relationship type. Also, that events can be simple or complex. Complex ones are typically the ones that involve passing data within the event. Lastly, it will be important for you to understand how the event lifecycle works. And don't worry, because I will be covering that in detail in the next module. Things to remember about the parent-to-child relationship include that this will generally involve exposing properties and functions in the parent and then passing that data through to the child. It could also involve using getters and setters for properties that might then be passed to the parent. And that brings us to the last relationship, which I have to tell you up front is the most complex of them all. Lightning Message Service allows LWCs to communicate across the DOM within a Lightning page. In the next clip, I will introduce you to a fictional Salesforce customer named Carved Rock Fitness.